Hey, what's up, y'all? So listen, I was on the blogs looking for stuff to talk about. Um, and I'm probably going to talk about this. Well, I am going to talk about this some more in the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. But I wanted to talk about this right now because it kind of got me going. Okay. Um, so the people are having a debate. Fans call out Kenya Moore for labeling Martell Holt as abusive for cursing at her. Kenya gotta stop. This is what someone, this is the tweet that they took. Really agree with Sheree that Kenya gotta stop throwing such words out there when she's upset with these men, like aggressive and abusive. Now, before we get into this conversation, we have said that we were going to change from using words like aggressive when describing like black women, black men. I also remember us having a conversation about Dr. Wendy. And remember when her and Ashley, some of y'all may not watch Potomac, from Real Housewives of Potomac. Her and Ashley got into like an argument. And I was like, you know what? You know, was Dr. Wendy being aggressive? Okay. She was. I had to admit it. You know, with that being said, I still, stood by that even though she was, it's not like other people in the cast have not been equally or more aggressive, aka Robin Dixon. And those words like aggressive were not just used to describe Robin. Like when Robin went down to Ashley's place of business and put her finger in her face. But Wendy can sit at the end of a table on the opposite side and you use that ferocious, aggressive to describe her. But nonetheless, was Wendy, a tad bit aggressive in that moment? She was. So let me play this clip from the Real Housewives of Atlanta between Sheree and Kenya, and then I'm going to give my commentary, okay?
Trying to defend herself. Yeah, she's mad because she got caught. So now you want to attack him and say that he's attacking you? That's not how it works.
Him saying, oh, I don't care if I you, that's not offensive to me. That's him in the way he talks. What got me was, I said, oh, I don't know. I get a lot of DMs. And he said, yeah, and I bet you answer them all, too. Something like that.
I didn't hear that.
Go to her messages right now and see. I bet she probably accepted everybody's message. Go to right now.
Wait, what? He's trying to say I'm a hoe. Oh, yes, he did.
Oh,
yes, he
God.
did. Yes, he did. No, Sheree.
Are you serious?
He was like, yeah, and I bet you answer them all, too.
There is no way that I would have that reaction if somebody said, I bet you check all your DMs.
No, it was the way.
It wouldn't trigger me at all. I'd be like, they wish. You're trying to make something out of nothing because it never went anywhere.
But you can hold him accountable for how he acted toward me. A man should never speak to a woman in that way, whether he's angry or not, ever. It's unacceptable.
So is it okay for you to get in his face, though? I'm just asking.
It's okay if I'm defending myself, yes.
So when he's defending himself, it's not okay to...
It's okay to defend himself, but he does not ever have to be abusive.
Okay, Kenya. First, Ross was aggressive because he defended Sonya. Now, Martel defends himself, and you call him a piece of shit. What is your issue with calling black men aggressive? Are they public enemy number one because you don't have one?
You got to look at your past and the things that you have accepted from men. And when Bob was saying crazy shit about you in the car, you have not learned that's a sign. There is never a scenario where it's okay for a man to speak to a woman like that.
And there's never a scenario where it's okay for a woman to speak. You gotta acknowledge that.
Abuse is abuse, though, but you have to see the signs, and that is what I've learned.
Trying to label these black men and black women.
Sheree, don't turn this around on me.
No, I'm not turning it around on you, but
Don't
you
turn
cannot
it
do
around
that,
on
though.
me. I felt like I was standing up for myself because everybody else was there with the man. Here we go. I'm out here by myself, and some man is talking to me crazy.
Everyone is not mad. Everybody's not him. Kenya, what would you need to get past it?
Ooh, Sheree. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
Okay, so I think it's whack that Sheree, who has been in an abusive marriage to this very day, will run to the defense of another man. I think it's whack that there are people out in the comment sections, and I don't want to upset any of you if you happen to be one of those people, but I think it's a little whack that you could even act like Martell Holt of Love and Marriage Huntsville is not all of the above. Martell Holt is definitely aggressive, and he's definitely abusive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what I put in the comment section. You know I'm going to leave a comment if I ain't going to do nothing else. Y'all be too dick hungry for me. Martell is definitely aggressive and abusive and trifling and tired and through. And Ross was aggressive when he stood up and cursed at Sheree and Kenya. Matt was aggressive and Apollo too. I want to believe y'all have never seen Love and Marriage Huntsville and don't know who Martell is. But I also know some of you will protect a piece of dick no matter what. Ross was aggressive. Period. Ross stood up out of his seat and cursed at Kenya and Sheree, two of the three single women at the table, in defense of his wife, who had not been cursed at, who had not been yelled at. You know what's so crazy? I was having a conversation. So my brother-in-law and my sister were over here the other day. And we were just like shooting the shit and drinking. And girl, me and my sister, my brother-in-law would be tuning us out because girl, we just be gossiping most of the time. But I guess he was paying attention that night. I think he was watching a game or something. We were talking about Tiana Taylor and Chris Brown and how we thought that Chris Brown was out of order. And he was like, hold up. You said Chris was cursing at her? I was like, Chris was cursing at her. Because on the clip, you could see him say, man, F her. And he was like, where is he? Now, he know Iman because Iman, is a basketball player or played basketball. He was like, what was Iman at? I was like, I guess he was at I guess he was at the house with the kids. I don't know. He wasn't there, He was like, no. He was like, I wish somebody would cuss at your sister. No matter how you want to flip it, turn it, smack it, turn it around, nobody is sitting there with a man beside them and getting cursed out and it not be an issue. Ross was wrong. I don't care how many people try and flip it. He was out of order. Because if someone had stood up and did what Ross did to Sonya, Ross will be ready to flip the table. Okay? Matt was aggressive. Apollo has been aggressive. Go away from me with this, Apollo. Remember Pillow Talk? How Apollo was throwing Brandon around the room like Brandon was trying to steal his booty? The fact that Martell has been able to get on TV, disrespect his ex-wife, called his wife a whore. Girl, last week, he was yelling at Mel's mama. He has gotten his baby mama pregnant multiple times. She finally had one of the babies. For people to sit here and still act like what we know and what we have seen in 5 or 6 seasons on Love and Marriage Huntsville was not abuse and aggression is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Yes, we should try and do a better job of not going around calling black men and black women aggressive. With that being said, sometimes it is what the fuck it is. And if you were aggressive in that moment, then you were aggressive in that moment. Martel does too much. And Martel gonna learn real fast. The way that those girls operate on Love and Marriage Huntsville are not the way that the girls operate on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They don't mind arguing with no nigga, in case y'all forgot. Okay? They don't mind going back and forth. Y'all don't remember Nene telling Peter he was acting like a bitch? This is not Love and Marriage Huntsville. The girl's gonna curse you out over here. So, I have more to say. I'll, say some more, go more into detail in my review. I know everybody don't watch my reviews. And plus, again, I saw this on the blogs and I kind of wanted to tap on to, give my little commentary or whatever. But yeah, I think it's whack of Sheree to sit here and try and pull the black man, black woman card. Like, girl, you act like we talking about Barack Obama. You act like we talking about Dr. Eugene from Married to Medicine. You act like we talking about Russell Wilson. You act like we talking about Dr. Francis. We're talking about Martell Holt. That's who y'all are trying to defend. That's who y'all are trying to say that is not aggressive and is not abusive. And Kenya shouldn't have used those words. He is. I'm not saying that Ross is aggressive, but in that moment, he was. Just like in that moment with Dr. Wendy, she was. But I already explained to y'all why I was against and what the problem I had in that situation. I think Sheree, like, Kenya ain't got a lot of wiggle room to talk about when it comes to men. But at least in Kenya's situation, it's not like Kenya is out here in these streets trying to defend men who display aggressive and abusive behavior. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. Kenya, when it comes to her, the men in her life, she ain't got the bad, it ain't like she out here dealing with, but Kenya is still not also out in these streets defending these men and their behavior like Sheree. You would think that the things that Sheree have been through in her life, that at her big ass age of 50 plus years old, that she would know better. All right, let's move on. We'll talk more in my review. I need to go. All right. Shannon Sharpe speaks on Ja Morant's second suspension. Okay, so this is what Shannon Sharpe had to say.
I said before, the best apology is change behavior. And when he was going through all this diatribe about what he learned about being away from the game, Skip, and how important it was to him, I say, I see better than I hear. I heard everything Ja said. Now, moving forward, I'm going to see if the behavior meets what he said. And clear, right on. And so at this point in time, Skip, where I am, I'm not even upset at Ja. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted by the people that defended him. Because that's what got us here. That's what got us here, Skip. Oh man, Shannon, you hating on Ja. You were Uncle Tom, you rucker, you buck that.
I don't know who this is.
The same people that Ja in the comments, that Ja be liking.
Oh, these are Twitter.
Yeah. Skip.
Not Grizzlies.
No.
Okay.
The clicks and the mentions and the likes, why he does everything that he does. Skip, I need somebody to tell me the fascination he has with guns and feel that he needs to be on IG. I said before.
Y'all part of the problem. Like I said in my previous video, like, you know, again, 23 is not 53. You know, at 23, you don't have a lot of experience under your belt, but you just literally got into trouble for this like a month ago. Like it just happened. So for you to turn around and do the exact same thing again, it's crazy. And then when people call it out, it's like, oh, you just hating, you this. Even the first time with people calling it out. Every time somebody calls out someone for their behavior, it's not always somebody just hating. Somebody just jealous. He's still a baby. Somebody said online, I don't know how true this is, I didn't Google it. Somebody said online, it was a black woman, who said that he's still a baby. And then people were basically saying, girl, that's a grown man, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, it's documented that a man doesn't fully mature until he's 43. That's what she said. And I wanted to say back, you probably the same one who will sit here and say that a man doesn't mature until 43, but girl, you probably also, girl, sitting here and letting the man be the head of household and a leader and a protector. Girl. Y'all be wanting to have it too many ways for me. Anyway, child. I'm with Shannon. This is what Jalen Rose had to say.
Now.
It's really unfortunate. And the one thing we learn as athletes, in particular those that are fortunate enough to make it to the professional ranks, is that we're required to be role models. We're required to be eligible, and we're required to be role models. And that doesn't necessarily serve in other professions as entertainers, whether you're an artist or whether you're an actor. A lot of times this type of behavior is celebrated and or promoted. But when you're an athlete, it's punished. And for Ja to put himself in this situation just a short time after that scenario happened, I agree with Stephen A. This is going to be a 20-25 game suspension. It's unfortunate also for the organization because now it puts a damper going into next season. How well can you play if you're going to miss Ja Morant for so many games? But also, I gotta also say this. He is 23. He just finished his 4th year in the league. And I'm personally just glad that social media didn't exist when I was in college or when I was in the league. Because like I said before, I put myself in a lot of questionable positions and made a lot of poor decisions like we see him making right now. So I'm not going to talk about it like it's the end for him. I think there's still a future for him to still reclaim his decision making and put himself in position to not only be a role model, a parent, but also a productive NBA.
No, it's a wrap. I ain't gonna say it's a wrap for his career, but girl, Ja can't be no role model for nothing, girl. That was his time. This was the chance for him to try to be a role model, girl. It's too, girl, no. You know, it is what it is. You know, like I said, did he unalive somebody? No. Was he out there pistol whipping somebody? No. Is his career over? I don't know. Baby, y'all gonna have to let the social media go. Not let it go, but y'all gonna have to learn to, like, girl, everything does not need to be on social media. I don't understand the obsession. I really don't. I don't understand the girls who scam and scheme and you live in a life of girl, just fraudulent, just lifestyle, just ain't yours. And y'all want to post all types of Louis Vuitton bags and private jets and $1 million homes. And girl, you ain't got a job to the first. Okay? I don't understand, girl. You just got into trouble, sir, a month ago, a little while ago, and you just did the exact same thing. I don't understand it, sir. Young jock defends crying online following criticism. Why not? Y'all post that other bull-ish. So basically, the other day, young jock posted a video of him crying. And some people, of course, were like, black men are never allowed a space to cry and all that good stuff, right? Which is, true. And then some people were like, girl, what is you doing? Now, let me say something. I do think multiple things can be true at the same time. Do I believe that black men are probably, not allowed to have, be in touch with their, as some people call it, their feminine side? No, but for real, I understand it. But, here we go with the but. I'm just going to call a thing. And this is just for me. I have always found it strange when people get their phones, set up their phones, hit record, and then just start crying. I think that is strange to me. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. I think it's strange behavior. I think it's one thing for you. I'm kind of emotional. I kind of cry. I think it's one thing and it's been times where I have been down to YouTube and we're having a conversation and I might get emotional, right? In the midst of the conversation. But girl, I'm never just setting my phone up and girl hitting play and just showing myself crying. I think it's strange. I do. I think it's very weird. I think it's attention seeking. Why? I understand that you want to show that black men should be able to cry, which they should. We should. But I just think, again, girl, you setting your phone up and hitting record and like, okay. Girl, what just happened? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yeah, I just don't get it. But I mean, shout out to Jock. Shout out to Jock and him crying. You know. Girl. All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. I got so much stuff to do, girl. I got so much TV to watch. I need to take this rug back to Ross List because I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like this rug. It's a mess. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.